Who's the fastest villain in comics? Today, we're pitting two absolute speed demons against each other: Hunter Zolomon, the twisted reverse Flash known as Zoom from DC Comics, and Pietro Maximoff, the lightning-fast mutant Quicksilver from Marvel. This isn't just about who can run faster, it's a battle of philosophies, powers, and pure, unadulterated speed. So, strap in, because things are about to get real fast. Let's start with Quicksilver. Pietro Maximoff's powers are pretty straightforward, at least on the surface. He's a mutant, born with the X gene that grants him the ability to move and think at superhuman speeds. Originally, he was said to be able to run faster than the speed of sound, around Mach 1. But as comics love to do, his powers have evolved. He's been clocked moving at Mach 4, Mach 5, and even reached speeds where he could outrun radio waves. He's dodged lightning bolts from Thor, run up walls, created cyclones by running in circles, and can throw 1,000 punches in the blink of an eye. His perception is accelerated too, meaning the world often feels like it's moving in slow motion to him. This gives him incredible reaction times. His durability is also enhanced to withstand the friction and impacts of moving at such high velocities. But Quicksilver's speed is physical. It's about moving his body from point A to point B incredibly quickly. He's a product of genetics, a biological speedster. Now, let's turn our attention to the nightmare from Keystone City, Hunter Zolomon, also known as Zoom. And this is where things get really weird and absolutely terrifying. Zoom isn't a traditional speedster like the Flashes or even Quicksilver. He doesn't tap into the Speed Force. In fact, he doesn't technically move fast at all. Confused? Let me explain. Hunter Zolomon was crippled in an attack by Gorilla Grodd. Desperate, he tried to use the cosmic treadmill to go back in time and prevent his tragedy. The resulting explosion didn't give him super speed. It disconnected him from the timeline. Zoom's power is temporal manipulation. He alters his own personal timeline, slowing down time relative to himself to create the illusion of super speed. To everyone else, he's moving at speeds that make even the Flash look slow. To him, we're all frozen statues. This fundamental difference in their power sets is the key to this entire matchup. Quicksilver runs fast. Zoom controls time. When Quicksilver runs, he's still subject to the laws of physics, even if they're comic book physics. He generates friction, he has mass, he impacts things. Zoom, on the other hand, is essentially stepping outside of time. He can slow down the world around him to a near total standstill. This means he can walk up to Quicksilver, who might be running at Mach 10, and it would be like walking up to a parked car. From Zoom's perspective, Quicksilver is practically stationary. So, let's imagine the fight. The bell rings. Quicksilver, confident in his speed, bolts towards Zoom, ready to deliver a 1,000-punch combo before Zoom can even blink. But as he closes the distance, something's wrong. Zoom isn't moving. He's just standing there, a chilling smile on his face. Before Quicksilver can even register what's happening, he's sent flying by a punch that feels like it came from nowhere. How? Because from Zoom's perspective, he had all the time in the world. He watched Quicksilver's supersonic approach like a slow-motion movie, casually stepped aside, and delivered a devastating blow. The brutality of Zoom is another major factor. Quicksilver can be arrogant and has been a villain. But he has a moral line he rarely crosses. Hunter Zolomon has no such line. His entire philosophy is built on creating tragedy to make heroes better. He doesn't just want to win, he wants to break his opponents, physically and emotionally. The punches he throws are not just fast, they are incredibly powerful, because he's manipulating time. He can hit with forces that seem to defy physics. He can create sonic booms and shockwaves just by snapping his fingers. He's been shown to effortlessly handle multiple members of the Justice League, including Superman and Wonder Woman, simply because they can't touch him. Could Quicksilver even land a hit? It's highly unlikely. Zoom's temporal abilities mean he perceives everything happening at a glacial pace. Quicksilver's top speed is a brisk jog to him. There's no attack Quicksilver could launch that Zoom wouldn't see coming from miles, or rather, minutes away. Zoom could literally take a nap, wake up, read a book, and then decide how to counter Quicksilver's attack. It's a completely unfair advantage. What about Quicksilver's endurance? He can run for long distances, but eventually, he will tire. Zoom's powers don't seem to cause him any physical strain in the same way. He isn't physically exerting himself, he's manipulating the flow of time around him. This means he could theoretically keep this up indefinitely. He could let Quicksilver run himself to exhaustion, all while standing perfectly still, watching him with that terrifying, predatory grin. Let's look at their weaknesses. Quicksilver's is his arrogance and his relative physical vulnerability compared to cosmic-level threats is solid. Well-placed hit can take him down. Zoom's weakness is more complex. Because his power is based on his perception of time, if he gets disoriented or loses focus, his control can waver. However, getting close enough to even attempt that is the whole problem. The only people who have ever been able to truly combat Zoom are speedsters like Wally West, who learned to move so fast they could keep up with his time manipulation. Quicksilver doesn't have that level of speed or access to the speed force energy needed to perform such a feat. So, let's call the winner. In a contest of pure, villainous speed and power, Zoom takes this victory, and it's not even close. Quicksilver is an incredibly fast and formidable opponent, one of the fastest in the Marvel Universe. But he's playing checkers while Zoom is playing 4D chess across multiple timelines. Quicksilver is a bullet, Zoom is the man who can stop time and simply walk over to catch the bullet. The nature of his powers puts him on a completely different level. It's a matchup of physics versus temporal paradox, and in this case, the paradox wins every single time. Poor Pietro wouldn't even know what hit him. He'd just be running one moment, and the next, he'd be on the ground, with Zoom standing over him, explaining how this tragedy will make the Avengers stronger. What do you guys think? Is there any scenario where Quicksilver could pull off a win, or is Zoom simply too overpowered? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I love reading your theories. If you enjoyed this Super Speed Showdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more comic book battles. Thanks for watching.